Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Eggs Benny, and today we're streaming on my channel because, oh, Lord knows that technology is interesting. But we're here, we're queer, and let us all say hello to my beautiful players, starting with the twins in the top left corner.
Hello. My name is Nura Nightingale, and I will be playing twin number 1, the beautiful paladin of Suni Aurora Rose.
Hi everybody, I'm English Ray. I play twin number 2, the Isomar cleric, also worshipping Sune. And I think we're all a little worried about the road ahead.
And then in the bottom row we have our warlock, the blue-haired edgelord.
I love that so much. Hello everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood Ness playing your blue-haired edgelord, Valdis, who is getting very impatient and literally just wants to get this lady to the safe place and then continue trying to get the fuck out of here.
And then in the bottom corner we have our elven sorcerer who just got back from Hot Topic.
Hello everyone, my name is Mythical, and I am the voice of Saya Sombra. And I'm the Shadow Sorcerer, and she's just going with the vibe. She's chilling. She's not worried about anything. Let everyone else do the worrying.
And then I am here as the world that makes you cling to your blanket at night, Eggs Benny. Our human druid T.S. Starbane will be joining us later, however, he's been caught up in the real world and therefore can't join us in fantasy. But he will be here at some point. To do a quick recap about what happened last session, you all have been staying at the house of Ireena and Ismark Koilanovich, the burgomaster, essentially the mayor of this village of Barovia. Gaining friendship over the last couple of days, you had promised Ismark that you would help him bury his father, the previous burgomaster, who had died in vague stress-related circumstances. After burying his body with the help of Father Donovich, you were trying to come up with a plan of what to do with Ireena. She was not an eyesore, but she was very obvious and open to the world. Although you have constructed her disguise kit, which should hopefully keep her hidden. Fingers crossed. You all decided, though, as a group, that there was one thing that you needed to do before heading off into the world outside Barovia, and that was to check on the house of the hermit known as Mad Mary. Mary was someone that had put themselves into a self-hermitage and didn't really leave their house unless it was absolutely necessary. Although recently, and something that the players have heard, all she has been doing is crying and sobbing. Going into the house, you found her in a distraught state. She was all over the place, crying, sobbing, clutching this doll, which you eventually found out was a belonging of her daughter Gertruda. After calming her down a little bit, you found out that Gertruda, at some point in the last week, had escaped out of the home and hadn't been seen since. The theory that Mad Mary has is that she was abducted in the night and therefore she'll never see her daughter again, sending her into essentially a psychotic break where she just continuously cried. No matter what the party did to make her feel happy, she wasn't stopping. After having a slight conversation with a lot of rats, you find out that Gertruda had indeed been whisked away in the night, although it sounds a little bit more romantic from the rats as they describe this man in a long cloak gathering her up in his arms and leading her out of the village. The session ended with you going outside to discuss with Ismark potential strategies of what to do with Man Mary, and that is where we are going to pick up from.
Yeah. As I recall, the last thing the stream heard last week was Aurora looking at Ismark going, "There's a lot of rats in there."
Mm-hmm. And Ismark just kind of like, I guess it's the equivalency of, I've forgotten the official name for the meme, but it's that Finnish dude or Swedish dude with blonde hair and a quiff that just like looks at the camera and blinks.
Oh yeah, that one.
I've forgotten the official name of it, but you know which meme I'm on about. Where you just, there's a little bit of a blink, there's a little bit of a stop-start, he's not entirely sure like what he's meant to be taking from this comment and conversation, but he is there.
I heard rats are less than picky on what they eat. With so many of them in there, I almost wonder if her safety might be at risk if they get too hungry.
He nods his head and just like taking it in. He actually walks past you all because you technically didn't shut the door behind you, so he peeks his head into the living room adjoining kitchen, and he can see the swarm. Like, you can all see this swarm of 30-40 rats like coiling over each other to steal whatever scraps they can find, and you can see him visibly recoil a little bit, and there's a shudder that just like travels down his spine. He looks to you all and just goes, well, if you want to, we can try and force Mary out of the house, but from the sounds of it, I don't think she's going to be very receptive. And as you like kind of crane your hearing back in that direction, you can still hear Mary in the throes of whatever fit she is having, and it's just every now and again you can hear her, "Won't go, can't make me go."
I doubt that would work as well, but maybe some rat traps or
Rat poison?
something to minimize their presence. Even just looking around, cleaning up the place might help.
And you can see Ismark beginning to make a comment, like you can see his mouth opening. But then you all hear off in the distance the sound of like a galloping horse, like hooves hitting the stone pathways that are leading around this village in a very hard manner, and you turn to look over all of your shoulders, and it's back towards like the center of town, back where the mercantile is and back where the tavern is, and you see someone absolutely wailing on this horse, like they are galloping at full speed. Like the reins are being used as almost like a flank whip, as this man in dark colored clothing just tears out of town, heading out of the Westwood Road.
Val kind of looks to everybody else and is just like, well, I hope that wasn't another spy. I think we need to talk and walk from now on. We need to get going. We're burning daylight.
Hmm.
Before you leave, is there any supplies that you think you might need? If there is anything that you can think of, I know that at the very least the mercantile in town may supply it, if it is of a common stock.
Got any more crossbow bolts?
They probably will.
Just better to have too many than not at all. Anything silvered?
I
How are we for food and rations?
Val kind of like peeks around in his backpack and just kind of like gives you a thumbs up and a nod. Like he's all set.
So is Saya. Barely used any of her rations.
Yeah, I don't think Aurora's used much either.
I'd be more concerned with like if they have another like healer's kit, herbalism kit, anything like that, just in case we run out of magic again.
Very good shout.
You head to the mercantile, and you are like walking and talking at this point. You head in. I'm going to see if I can't call upon a favor. But you should all be fine.
Okay.
Trust me. Bildrath isn't going to hurt you. And with
Sorry,
that,
was that name Bill?
Bildrath, and I will type it out for you.
Thank you.
But with a nod and a reassuring smile, Ismark leaves you all outside the mercantile and heads into one of the more residential areas of the village.
Well, alrighty. I guess it's time to get our supplies and get moving.
Mm-hmm. Like, is it like a shop door then? Like, do we just open a door and go in, or do we knock first?
Appears to be just a standard shop door. Has these
Okay.
thick, heavy curtains that cover the actual window portion of it, but as you touch the door, it is unlocked.
I will walk in.
Val will follow behind you.
Aurora will too.
But no, walking in, you see it is a very simple shop. Essentially, you could walk around it in probably 30 seconds, but it does have basic adventuring gear. And
That's a good sign, at least.
Behind the desk, you see a man who you're assuming is Bildrath. He is a human man, standard, like, height and build, nothing really exceptional about him. Darker hair that's been, like, scraped back into, like, a little bit of a quiff. And on the end of his nose, you see, like, the tiny glasses that Teddy Roosevelt is really famous for wearing, like the pince nez.
Mhm.
Like, he just has a pair of those, like, perched on the end of his nose.
Are you Bildrath?
He nods and, with a bit of a smile, just opens up and just goes, "And welcome to Bildrath's Emporium. What may I do for you?"
His work sent us.
Ah. So you'll be wanting to buy equipment. I have most common pieces.
Do you have crossbow bolts, and do you have any medicine or healing stuff?
I have crossbow bolts. I sell them by the case. And then in terms of healing, I do have a standard, like, a healer's kit.
How much?
The crossbows bolts will be 10 gold pieces.
Do you have any spells and scrolls for sale?
Unfortunately, not. That is not my expertise.
Pity.
And then for the healer's kit, that will be 50 gold pieces.
Oof.
You know, like the anime, like Cloud, like disappointed sigh with the little like wiggle marks around the head, and they have like the blue disposition, I guess. Just the and just turns to Austra like, I don't think we have that money.
No.
If only we had Arabella and Aspen in this campaign to pay for it.
Did we get any weapons that nobody wanted at all that we could probably sell?
I do have an extra silvered short sword.
It's silvered. I think we should probably keep that.
I have something to sell.
I look at my sister as if to say sex doesn't count.
She's gonna look at her like what? And step forward. She's going to pull out the one eye patch that she got while looking around the downstairs basement in the murder house.
Yes. He extends a hand out, like he sees that you're going to offer him something. He goes, "Ah, you're wishing to trade? We can trade."
She nods. Yes, as long as the value is fair, I'm perfectly happy with trading.
May I? And it's the thing of, like, he just wants to observe, like, the gem.
Oh, yeah, she'll hand it to him, let him appraise it.
Mm. He takes a moment to look over. I would be willing to swap this eye patch for a healer's kit. It is an equivalent price to me.
Looks at Austra like, there you go.
Okay, so who's keeping the second healer's kit?
Probably one of the other healers, if I had to guess. I mean, so just in case you already have one, so maybe Aurora could take the other one, or maybe TS if willing.
At the same time that's happening, Sage pulls out her moss agate. How do you say it? Agate?
Agate.
Agate? Words. She pulls it out and she looks at the shop person and goes, "Can I exchange this for anything? Or get money back?"
If you are also wanting crossbow bolts, I will say that one of those gems is worth a case of crossbow bolts.
Sure. I have a crossbow if need.
And he kind of holds out his hand to be like, however many you're willing to give him, you have 3. and one of them is worth a case of crossbow bolts.
Gives him all three to get the 3 cases.
Okay. He takes them, and you can see him shuffle it around his palm, kind of like you do with a like the Chinese metal balls.
And you just... I'm sorry, go on.
But he just gives a smile to them as he like feels the weight. He goes, "I will be back with your equipment shortly." And you see him like head through like a beaded curtain into like a back storage room.
You just hear Saya just looking at her hands going, "This is just for backup in case I need it if I run out of spell slots." But it's not. It's
Are you
not
keeping
indefinite.
hold of? Are you keeping hold of all 3 cases?
I'm willing to have one. And you others want to take the other 2.
Does anybody else have a crossbow? I mean, I do, but does anybody else?
Val will raise a hand. I don't particularly use it since I have my own magic, but it's also nice to have just in case.
So, in that case, she hands one to Austra, and then she looks over at Valdis and goes, "Here, you little mosquito. Have a case."
So a case is 20, right?
Mm-hmm. So
Okay.
feel free to just add, like, if you already have crossbow bolts in your inventory, just add another 20 on top.
Thank you.
You will see Val's eyebrow twitch a little bit, and he'll do like a very condescending like bow and just, "Why, thank you, little bat. I will treasure these forever."
I can't with these 2. I can't. Oh gosh. And Say's just not. Is just gonna stand there like, just like, whatever.
Yeah, Val will just strap them to put them in the rest of his quiver that he has, basically, and kind of, like, I guess, like, looks around in his backpack, like, I can sell something, but I don't know, like, if we really need anything else. I can just get money for it, possibly.
Yeah,
That's-
Aurora's looking. Aurora's looking through her pack and kind of grabbing, like, occasionally grabbing something that she can potentially sell as well.
I got a mace.
Because I do have a sickle that I could sell. We have one of the silver short swords that I'm not using. I also, I mean, technically, we have what do you call it? My brain today. We have the fur clothing that is also taking up quite a bit. So if we have to, then I will sell it. But
you don't really want to.
yeah, he just kind of looks over at you with like a very small pout, like, I don't. I really, really don't. But if we need the money, then I will acquiesce.
Well, see how much we can get for the sickle and for the mace, and then we'll take it from there.
I can sell my javelins as well. I've got no need for them anymore.
Do you have anything though for distance?
No, I've never had a bow.
Oh right, yeah, I forget you weren't in that lesson. It was just me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really want to sell them all? Do you want to keep 2 maybe just in case?
I suppose.
Because you've been talking amongst yourselves, Bildrath has just kind of been, like, appraising the eye patch and the gems that you've been giving him. Like, I'm very happy with the trades that he's done, but as he sees you, like, reaching to give him weaponry, he just goes, oh, no, no, no. You want to sell weapons? You go to Vallaki.
Okay.
Yeah, Val will just nod and put the sickle back.
You do get the impression, looking around his shop, that he was happy to trade for things like money and gems, but he is pretty much just like a general goods store. What is he going to do with weaponry?
Fair.
You know, that's so fair.
I have a linen.
Just quirks your eyes and was like, and what would you want for linen?
Money?
Again, he just kind of like quirks an eyebrow. It's like, no.
It's worth 5 gold each, apparently, according to my sheet.
He just kind of looks at you and goes, are you wanting something? Is there something that you know that you want?
I don't know what I'm gonna need!
Oh
Then
my
come
god.
back when you do.
All I know is that I need crossbow bolts. We wanted another healer's kit.
And you got them.
Do we need any more rations?
Val will take pity.
It's for lucky.
Val will take pity on Austra and kind of just like very gently pat her shoulder, like, I do believe that's everything that we came here for, so I think it is time to bid the nice man adieu.
Do we need bandages? I don't know what we're gonna need.
Alright,
Piping
alright.
up from the corner, Ireena does, like, do a little cough into her hand and just go, Vallaki is less than a day's walk away.
Thank you.
We could be there by the evening.
Okay.
See, little dove, it'll be fine. Stop your worrying.
I'm tough.
He just kind of rolls his eyes, like, good-naturedly and kind of, like, pats the top of your head and just, like, turns back to Bildrath and just gives him a bow, just, thank you very kindly for your services. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
And he does give you a bow, but he doesn't return, like, any of the sentiments, just a little bit of a curt goodbye.
Under-fucking-standable. Val will try to usher everybody out of the store. Just like, come on, we've got a lot of travel ahead, even though it's only a day. We've got a lot of work to do.
Aurora will give Bildrath a pleasant smile and everything, again, like a pleasant farewell, and just kind of head outside.
What did I do to annoy him? Did
Well-
nobody else want anything else? Are we sure we have everything?
We're
Well-
fine, sister. We left the temple with less than what we have now, and we made it to Daggerford, did we not?
I know, but we also
We-
kind of knew what we could expect along the way.
We didn't know what to expect along the way, all the way from Neverwinter, and we made it just fine. We can manage a day.
I don't know, this place is scary things.
I can assure you, we're
Oh.
much scarier than anything that's out there, especially me.
So
Sis.
perhaps
Sis, just slap me right now. Just to reset. Please.
she's just gonna pinch her. Like, I'm not slapping you, I'm pinching you.
Okay, thank you. I'm with it again.
Mm.
Oh my god, why was he so rude?
Val is literally just like, his shoulders are just shaking. He's trying so hard not to laugh. And he's just like, very much like head in his hands, like, oh my god, what am I gonna do with all you?
It's fine. You can laugh. I sometimes get flustered.
Flustered is a bit of an understatement.
Nobody really knew what we wanted. I went in there kind of blind.
Well, I personally would simply just like some better art supplies, but I don't think that that is the place to acquire them.
You can try. I'm not going back in there.
From what I saw of his shop, I doubt he would have anything that I would quite need. And I have what I have I can use for now until something better can be acquired. So I'm all set.
Okay, let's just go.
You're preparing to leave, and you begin to hear someone like walking on cobblestones, and you turn to see that Ismark is coming back towards you, like down the main street. You're essentially stood in the middle of the courtyard right now, and next to him, he seems to be talking to or in conversation with another man, and he's almost like leading this man towards you all as a group. It must be someone that Ismark trusts, because otherwise why would he be bringing him to Ireena?
Mm-hmm.
And you watch as this man is brought closer, closer, closer. He's comes within like a good 40, 30 feet of you guys, and kind of keeps his distance as Ismark comes towards you all. He is I guess you can call him friend of the family. After I have seen the spies in town, I do not trust the world. And I figured all hands on deck. So, forgive me for being, paranoid. But I would like you all to meet Azazel.
Hello, everybody.
Oh my god.
Oh!
Oh my god!
Azazel, if you would like to describe yourself for the party, please.
Absolutely, I would love to. Seeing as you guys is a little bit of a mid-20s, late 20s gentleman with kind of darker black hair, kind of a little bit of a messed up kind of shave on the sides, a little bit messed up on the top. Wearing fairly average clothing, just kind of a bluish tunic with kind of white stripes. Got a couple leather belts around his waist, gray kind of cotton pants. It looks like he's got like steel shoulder pads, when in reality you can tell it's just been leather, just been kind of dyed into kind of like almost like a silver, just to kind of mimic it. Has the blue vest and some of these fingerless leather gloves that go into gauntlets up to his elbows. Kind of a little light stubble on his face, a nice kind smile, blue eyes. Kind of has his hands in the air, seeing you guys' reaction of, well, hi, is everything okay?
It's always a pleasure to have somebody else amongst us. Welcome. And just a small, very short bow at the waist with like a hand over his heart.
Waves.
You are way
Hi!
too trusting.
Just waves and goes, "Hi, I'm Elstra," and holds out a hand for you to shake.
Yeah.
Hi, there's two of you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing with twins. There's two of you.
Yeah. Aurora will.
Go ahead.
Aurora would step forward, also offering her hand and everything. I'm Aurora.
Oh, did I lose connection?
No, you're good.
No?
No.
There we go. Sorry, I came back. Wi-Fi here sucks balls. Should you say that again?
Yeah. Aurora would step forward towards you, also holding out her hand as well. Just bright, beautiful smiles. I'm Aurora.
I'll shake both your hands, be like, I can tell you're twins. It's quite obvious. But thank you for saying that, because, I could be an idiot.
Best way you can figure out who is with the eyes.
Oh, so you're telling me to look at you in the eye. Sorry, my eyes were distracted elsewhere. But that's great. I'll do that.
Aurora would also point at her necklace. Or the necklace. She's, for reference for, Sorrow, she's wearing a choker with a sprig of mistletoe on it.
Copy that.
Azazel has been a friend of the family for quite a few years now, and I don't trust anyone more than him to help get you all to Vallaki.
I have no idea why. They have no reason to trust me.
Well, I mean, if you are trusted by Ismark, then I don't see why not.
You should actually all have a decent bit in common, considering Azazel was in not the exact same, but similar shoes to you all a couple of years ago.
Just raises an
sucks, doesn't it?
eyebrow.
Saya's just gonna be like, well, at least we have one thing in common. Name's Saya, by the way.
You look like you just love life.
In fact, I do. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Oh, pardon my manners. Valdis, at your service. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well. You all already know my name and my face and who I know, so there's not much other introduction I need, I guess.
I mean, maybe what kind of fighter are you? Like, what's your background?
Usually you have to take someone out to dinner before you start asking things like that. But I mean, I like your style. I mean, you're right up in there.
I literally look to my sister and I go, sorry, am I being too forward right now?
Aurora quite literally just shrugs, like, I don't know. I've gone to many dinners with many people, and
Oh, I know.
it's always ended well.
Every time?
Yes.
Damn,
We worship
all
Suni.
right, that's a oh. I like this group already. This is perfect. Thanks. You knew exactly where I need to be. I appreciate that. I was getting bored as you guys.
Usually that helps explain things.
Does it?
As soon as, people realize, like, this one talks a lot and, like, that one's up for pretty much a lot of things, the kind of thing is, it's easy for the rest to just, we worship Suni. And then everything clicks into place.
I didn't know either of those things about you, but I do now, so that's sweet.
So, yeah, what kind of fighting do you do?
I don't.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a pacifist. That's 100% not true. I prefer to just bygones be bygones, and you go your way, I go my way, everybody lives, yay, woo.
Oh God, he's one of those people.
Am I inside this?
Sure.
I'm trying to figure out this person.
So which bit are you trying to suss? Because he's had a lot.
The pacifist?
Okay, then.
Because why the fuck would a pacifist be joining us when we're literally trying to keep somebody safe?
So for you it's an insight, and then for Azazel that'll be not perception, that'll be persuasion or deception.
Oh, yeah. That was so close to the one then.
Here we go. Private GM. It's been a while since I've done this, guys. Look how my.
Welcome to our side of the screen.
Strahd. I mean, admittedly, you only met him 2 minutes ago, but this is a very charismatic dude that you cannot put a finger on. You have absolutely no fucking clue.
Well,
do I see any weapons on his person?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Look at his wardrobe. Does he have anything?
Yeah, so the only thing you see on him is your basic adventurer's pack on his back. He's got the leather belts where you can see there's a knife that kind of sits on his hip, but it's more of it's one of those knives that you just carry on you just for the fact of hey, so you need a knife. Other than that, there's really no other visible weapons. They might be in his bag, but there's nothing like at ready at his hips.
Saya just kind of crosses her arms slightly and just kind of looks at him and goes, I get the feeling you're one of those happy-go-lucky entertainer people that travel around.
I get that you are the party pooper no matter where you go, but people keep you around because they feel bad for you.
That's
See,
not true.
we're both great at just like finger guns. He's like, see, this is a great game, isn't it?
Oh, I like him. I like him already. Can we keep him? Can we please keep him?
I have no
a
problems
choice.
with it.
Oh, I know you wouldn't.
Aurora actually is going, if she notices the weapon, she'll look over at Valdis. Didn't you just say you have a weapon you're not using? Maybe Azazel would be able to use it.
I'm good.
Well, the offer is still there.
What is it?
It is a silvered short sword.
I mean, if you don't want it, I'll take it. I can find something of use for it.
Just kind of shrugs and pulls it kind of out of his pack. And he'll like hand it to you.
He'll take it, hold the sword, and look at it. DM, how much of a value does this thing look like it has?
Oh, well, obviously, pristine short sword, so that on its own is like 25 gold, but it's been completely silvered. Like, it is silver plated, so that already adds another 100 gold pieces to it.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll take it, absolutely. Thanks, this is great. Just like slaps you on your bag.
He'll kind of jolt forward a little bit, and his skin kind of bristles, and he'll just be like, ah.
Was that... Wait, is that the sword that Caleb got, like, for everyone? Like, one of them? Or is that your own?
I have two. So I would probably give up the one that Caleb gave us, because I have my own.
Okay. For case when... Wait, what did Azazel do again? He like...
I said, absolutely, I'll take this, and I just clapped them on their back. And then, like, just kind of opens my bag, throws it in there, and then puts his bag back on his backpack.
Oh, yeah, no, we
Use words, please.
Valdis doesn't like being touched.
You don't? And just, like, kind of punches you in the shoulder.
He'll just
Can I like get in between so like he hits my shoulder instead?
Mind you, they're not, like, there's a force behind it, but, like, it's one of those just like, ah.
And like the happy-go-lucky smile like drops and is like all serious now. Goes, I mean it. He doesn't like to be touched. Respect people's boundaries.
Oh, I know what your role is now. Yep, sure. Got it. My bad. You're good. I'm not going to do that again. It's great. Awesome. We're all being friends. Where are we going? I forget.
Valaki.
Where?
Valaki.
Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah, exactly.
Azazel, you would know that that's like the next town along.
Oh, absolutely. I just completely forgot. Sure. Like, so, like, what you guys like? You guys get snacks or something?
We have rations.
That's
Val will kind of just turn to Ismark with like a little bit of a raised eyebrow and like vaguely gestures towards Azazel, like, really? Him?
With the kind of same like smirky smile. Ismark looks to Azazel and goes, and as always, you're making a beautiful first impression.
That's what I'm good at.
Mm.
That's why you keep me around, right?
Of course.
Quite honest.
I loud whisper to the rest of the party, and now I know what his role is.
Well, if I am honest, I believe you've made a good impression on me thus far.
I like it. See, this one gets it. Why are you guys? You guys are like, you gotta lighten up just a little bit. Like, look at where we are. I mean, like, you could die in like a couple of minutes, right? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Wow, oh, damn. All right.
Saya's just gonna go. I'm not easy to kill, but thanks for trying.
I didn't. Nor do I plan to, because you are going to be hilarious to watch.
You would have liked the celebration yesterday, I think.
I should have been invited.
Val will kind of just like, if Austra's still in front of him, just kind of like leans over and like whispers in her ear like, okay, I kind of take it back. I don't want to keep him anymore.
I whisper back to Valdis, I think we don't have a receipt to return him with, unfortunately.
Damn it.
Can I make a perception check to see if I hear this?
Sure.
What did we roll then? Like, to try to hide it.
I mean, if you prefer, my passive perception's 14.
I would say that with the 14, you're aware that they're having like a private conversation. You just don't know what they're saying.
That's fair.
Also,
out of... Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, out of character, I don't think Aurora would let you guys return him anyway.
You can fucking have him.
So, besides the cool, talking behind people's back, where we go?
Valaki, like I said 3 times already.
Yeah, when?
Now.
Right now.
Okay, let's go. I'm bored.
The sooner you leave, the better, especially since a rider left.
What they said.
A writer?
Oh, yes, you saw him as well. The man on the horse.
I expect
But
us
we
to
don't know
be...
what it means.
I don't
So it-
need to know what it means. I saw a man in black riding very quickly towards Ravenloft. You are leaving.
Okay, cool.
Instead of bickering and getting a little bit on each other's nerves, I do suggest we leave post-haste. We're also burning daylight.
I look at Ireena and I say, Marina, are you ready to leave?
She gives you a look, quirking like an eyebrow, and then just like, of course, the sooner we leave, the better.
Aurora's gonna just step forward, just like pointing kind of like direction-wise, just like, so which way are we going?
Oh, there is only one path, and that is westward. And she gestures to the path that you all saw the black-clothed rider, like, galloping off to.
No? Then we may as well start. And she's just gonna start down the path, assuming that everybody is following.
Mhm.
Off to Neverland.
With a chuckle, Ismark does follow you until you get to, like, the border of the town, and then he waves his goodbyes, and a reference that you don't get, Azazel, but everyone else will. He's like, I'm going to see a woman about some rats.
The best of luck to you, my friend.
But he gives you all a wave, all a nod, blows a kiss to his sister, and then turns to walk away.
Just kind of gives them a farewell, kind of just a wave. Like, thanks, man. I'll catch you later.
And gives you a wave back.
As they start out, Aurora would be watching Azazel at first, but not in like not in a suspicious way, more like an appraisement, like an appraising eye.
I know that eye. I look to my sister and I just look at you with pleading eyes and just shaking my head.
She's going to give her a look of kind of just like confusion of like, what are you on about?
I walk over to you and I whisper in your ear, I know what kind of look that is. Please don't.
I let those things come naturally. I will not initiate any. I will not pursue nor continue unless he reciprocates. You know this.
I know, but just be smart about it. We don't know how long we're gonna have him tagging along with us.
If it is not something pursued, then we won't know what might be or what could be.
Sometimes some things don't have to be pursued. They can just be observed.
In any event, that is not what I meant in my gaze at him.
Do you actually mean that, or are you just saying words?
No, she's genuine. She's being genuine. She had something else on her mind when she was looking him over.
Okay. Okay. But we probably should keep an eye on him because he seems like a talker.
I'm just gonna shrug, like,
Isn't he can talk the talk, but can he actually walk the walk? Like, just keep an eye on him. He's tricky.
I like him thus far. His personality is the most vivid that we have seen since we left the temple.
His personality could very well be a facade.
Shrug again. It is so nice to be around someone so positive again.
I wouldn't exactly call him a ray of sunshine, but
DM, if I may, I'm gonna go to because names, and I don't know their names 100% yet. This is character. I was gonna go over like, do they always whisper like in the middle of everything?
Saya's gonna nod.
Okay, I figured that sounded like their dynamic. Also, you look cool. I just walks away.
She just goes, everyone wants the cloak, but it's mine.
Exactly. Don't ever give up the cloak. The cloak is you. We are the cloak. You are the cloak. I am one with the cloak. Just walks away.
Once when Alstra would finally, or like when Alstra would let her would end the conversation with Aurora, Aurora just kind of look up and say, "I have a question for you, Azazel."
And I have an answer for you. I'll figure it out at some point, but I have an answer.
Aurora, as strange a request as perhaps it might be, would you perhaps model for me tonight? I draw, and you have a...
symmetrical face.
That's what I was going to say, yes. They are features I would like to capture. If you will allow me, of course.
He kind of, you can tell he's thinking in the back of his head. The smile has never left his face. There's always that just slight smirk that's permanently there. It's just kind of walking. The small kind of like vest that he wears just kind of dangling on his side, and he just kind of thinks for a little bit. He goes, I think it would be a dishonor to myself if you didn't.
Wonderful. And shadows from any fire, or wherever we stay the night, I'm sure will do wonderful justice to such features.
As long as it's the correct light, I do agree.
And every single compliment, every single like nice thing is completely genuine. Like, she is not just trying to like flatter or anything. It is all completely genuine from her.
He kind of nods. If you guys kind of keep walking, he's gonna hang back a little bit, or wherever. I believe it's Vladis. Is that correct?
Valdis. Close, though.
Valdis. He's gonna go. Valdis. What was it again?
Valdis, but you can call me Val if it suits you so.
I will see if I remember that. And that's nothing against you. You're also really badass looking. Yeah. That one right there. Something with an A. Don't they have both have it? I don't know. Whatever. It's that one of the two of those. I'm sure you can tell the difference between it. One's way more outgoing than the other one, isn't it?
Just kind of like quirks a little bit of an eyebrow. Question, how tall are you?
How tall am I? That's a valid question. I am about to find out. I will say, you know what? The first one that came to me, he is 5'11".
Oh, fuck. Okay. So, Val is like looking up at you with like a quirked eyebrow. Austra is definitely a little bit more on the reserved side, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a bit more anxious, a bit more worried. Well, Aurora's definitely more of the outgoing, takes appreciation in everything that she can get type of viewpoint, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Perfectly. I know exactly where I stand now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, you're right. Nice job.
She kind of just blinks at you and will just like nod and continue walking as he kind of just like kind of nervously like checks his nails. He's like, I don't know how to end this conversation in a not awkward way. So he just like,
And Aziz is going to stay in that awkward space until you figure it out. Like, he's just going to constantly be waiting, like, expecting you to say something, but not saying anything.
He'll kind of just like every other like minute, he'll kind of just like dart his eyes to look to see if you're still there.
Mm-hmm.
And like when he sees that you're there, he'll just be like, I forgot. Austra, that thing that we were talking about earlier. And he'll just like just speed walk away like, yeah, so remember that outfit design I was talking with you earlier about?
Yes! How's it going?
Well, you see, I took your advice. And he kind of like pulls out the sketchbook and he'll start to just like chat shit just to get out of there.
Yep, I completely pick it up when you're laying down and just like hold it up. And then like I'm pointing at things, but I'm actually pointing at like certain letters on the page, which basically spells out what did he want.
I'll put out just for generalist. He takes kind of just, the normal kind of mid-stride. His hands have never once gone to a pocket, into a bag, nothing. He's either hands back of his head, on his hips, swinging to side to side, but his hands have always been in view the entire time.
That is a brave man.
Other than that, he'll just keep on walking, enjoying life, looking around. Someone like if there's other people around, just kind of wink at people or kind of give like the little salute or something like that. It's just living a good life.
You do find Azazel, the Ireena, the lady that they're escorting, does gravitate towards you a little bit because although she does have a good relationship with the people in the party, she's known you for years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that comfort thing of like, oh yes, person that I know. Hello.
It absolutely. I mean, he'll stick with her and just kind of keep walking. They'll just kind of have idle chatter and whatever she needs. If she gets hungry, he'll hand over kind of like one of the like rations or anything. You know, just kind of keeping company, understanding like, hey, I get you. You somebody you know you left on.
Mm-hmm. The path as you leave Barovia kind of curves in a gentle arc, like further away from the west and more to the southwest, as you start to head towards what looks like a thick, dense forest. There is a little stone bridge going over a river. And it's off to the side of this bridge that you can see multiple branching pathways leading out into the forest. Like, it looks like they're footpaths that have just been trodden over time. Heading over the bridge, you do have the chance, if you want to follow some of these pathways, or you can just stick to the main road. It is up to you.
Val will kind of turn to Ireena and just like, whatever is the quickest route is probably for the best.
Wouldn't a safer route be best?
You do prove a point, but we are running against the clock for how long it'll take till these spies come back, basically, or if they're sending assassins or anything like that.
Okay, that changes things. Marina?
Unfortunately, I am not one of the woodsmen of these parts. I don't know which trails are safe and which are not.
Probably best we stick to the main one then,
Do
because we
I?
definitely know the main one.
Roll a history check for me, Azazel.
Sure. That's something I'm good at. Not. Nope.
Having a Scooby.
Cool. I say we go that way.
Which way are you pointing?
Pick one, deal. I'll do it. 1 and 2 left. 3 and 4 we go right. Left.
Well, it isn't necessarily a left and right. It's you're on the main road that has been carved out into the center of the trees, and then there are multiple branching pathways that are going off into the tree line. So it's either
Definitely.
a stay on the main road or go off into the forest.
Main road.
Okay, sticking on the main road then. You walk for another half an hour. And I would say, because of passive perceptions, this hits TS first, but then it travels down the line of Aurora, Azazel, eventually everyone. You smell this thick must of just death. Something is baking in the little sun that you have left. As you come around the corner and further into the forest, right on the tree line next to the path that you're on, there is the corpse of a wolf that has been left to decay on the side of the road. It is full of spears and pockmarked with crossbow bolts, and the body has just been left.
Lovely.
Aurora's going to cover her nose and mouth with one hand, mostly for the smell.
Can I go up to it?
Yeah.
Does it look like it was died from natural causes or something else?
I'd say make a nature check.
Nature check.
Can I help with that? Because I also wanted to do that.
You can either roll 2 separate checks, or someone can aid someone.
Are you or no?
Do you want the aid, or do you want two separate rolls?
Whatever you want, my dear.
We'll do separate rolls. Nature, right?
Mm-hmm. So we have a 12 and a 7. As far as you're aware, this creature probably died from the wounds it sustained from the weapons that are sticking out of it.
Is the wolf intact, or is there like meat missing, or any like pelt missing, or anything?
Completely intact.
That's sad.
DM, if I may, you said this is like a main road. Is there like any like kind of like what's around us at this moment?
So at the point that you are at now, you are surrounded on all sides by trees.
Awesome. I was just gonna look to everyone and be like, I'll be right back, guys. I gotta take a whiz, and I'm gonna go into William Forest, and I would just like to stealth for a bit
Yeah.
and just watch the group and the surroundings.
Go for it for the stealth. Okay.
Okay, interesting indeed.
And like Azazel just puts his hand up, says that he needs to go for a piss. He goes into the tree line and disappears from sight.
This is really weird. Like, this wolf is intact. The weapons sticking in the wolf. Can we like? Is there like bolts or anything? Are they intact, and can we pull them out?
Yeah, if you'd like to.
What weapons are sticking in this wolf?
So there are multiple crudely made javelins and spears, and then there are multiple crossbow bolts.
I will take out the crossbow bolts.
And examining them, quickly made, cheaply made, mass produced. Nothing special about them.
How many?
Oh, not too many, considering that there are 2 spears sticking out of the body, but you see like 3 or 4.
Are they also in good condition, or is it something that like you wouldn't use again?
Roll a d100.
65.
2 of them are in decent condition. The other 2, as you pull them out, they just snap.
I will add 2 more to my inventory.
I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see how old the corpse is? Like how long it's just been sitting there? Because if it's still intact and there's no like outward signs of decomposition, it has to be pretty fresh.
Other than the obvious wounds, there isn't any signs of decomposition yet.
Does this look like it could potentially be a trap? I don't know what you roll for that.
I guess an investigation.
An 11.
You've heard of hunters using corpses as like a trap for bigger game, but you don't see any kind of tripwire, no kind of snare. There's nothing connecting this beast to anything else. It seems that someone just killed a wolf.
There are no like footprints or anything.
No.
It's really bizarre.
And
Can I look up to the trees to see if there's like an ambush waiting?
sure, perception check. And in fairness, Aurora,
13.
the sight in
Jesus
front of
Christ.
you is kind of making sense, considering the letter that Ismark gave you about the tips and tricks of the land.
Okay.
It is technically in your journals that you can read it, but you haven't given it to anyone to look through.
I mean, to be fair, she referenced the book and mentioned Ismark left a letter for them to thank them, and nobody asked her. Yep,
No,
she
this
did, right
is-
before.
No, this is a different letter. Remember, Ismark was there like, I'm writing you tips and tricks to survive.
Okay.
And he gave it to you in the morning, like, before you went back to get dressed.
Right.
And you didn't bring it up to anyone.
Okay, right, that one. Yeah, when you mentioned it was in the inventory, the one that I read was the one that had been in her
the
book.
personalized one. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
The one that says
Okay.
tips from Ismark.
Yeah, I found it. I'm reading it now.
Because if I remember correctly, I made specifically to make a note about potential wolves. Yes, there we go.
Yeah, as she starts to notice that, she would pull out the letters. I think Ismark, mentioned these. And, like, unfold it, and everything kind of just, like, offering it to, like, whoever wants to take it.
I go straight over and I read and I grab it and I start reading it. I'm like, you're only telling us this now?
Well, the first thing I was asked in the morning was not about that, so we went to go bury his father.
Alistair, can, like, say a share and look at the letter with you?
Yep. What does the letter say?
You can look at it now. It is in your journal.
Hell yeah.
A cheat sheet given to the... Do I read it out of a stream, or can the stream see it?
That's up to you if you want to.
A cheat sheet given to the party by Ismark about some of the tips and tricks for that. Most Barovians are human. Anything other than that will be seen as odd. Be prepared to be stared at. Don't be scared if you see spirits wandering the main road. They won't hurt you if you leave them be. The only people that are able to leave Barovia are the Vistani, but tread carefully around them. They are not known to be trusted. A superstition about ravens is that you should not hurt them, or bad tidings will come to you. While I've never tested a theory, it is never a good time to test it. About Strahd. He has been known to take multiple forms, not just that of a man. Keep your eyes out for wolves, bats, or dire wolves. Thick patches of mist are also something to be aware of, as Strahd can hide in the mist. You will be more safe if you are inside at night, as vampires cannot enter a house they haven't been invited into. Just because Strahd does not walk in the day, doesn't mean that his spies aren't following you during the day. Thanks, Ismark.
Saya's just gonna nod and kind of realize about it.
Val would ask for it after you're done reading it.
Would pass it over to you.
It is now in everyone's journals, so you should be able to read it. I believe it's not in the journal, in the item section.
Oh, thank you.
That's my bad. I said the wrong bit.
Just kind of like reading over the little like blurbs, just nod. Sees the thing about ravens, raises an eyebrow, smirks a bit, nods. Alright, well, I guess information late is better than never. I guess it's a good thing that somebody else was also on their toes. And my accent is slipping because I am dying.
Oh no!
Sorry. Sorry, I had to drink water. Anyways, late advice is better than no advice. At least somebody else was smart enough to, I guess, pave the way, so to speak. It is definitely imperative that we make it to the next town by nightfall. Especially if we have spies after us, and we have wolves, apparently. Which is great, by the way. So as soon as Azazel stops pissing in the bushes, we can leave.
Whew,
I
that was
say
a long
we-
one. Sorry, guys. I'm ready to leave. What, were
Val
you gonna say something?
Val just gives a very like tight-lipped smile, like, oh, nothing. Just saying that we should leave once you get back.
Oh,
I was
back,
just
let's go.
gonna say we can leave without him. He can catch up to us. He's got 2 legs.
That's cool too. I see how it is. Thanks. We're like you too. I'm just gonna start walking.
Aurora just looks at Saya. Would you leave any of us in that manner?
I mean, should leave all of us in that basement.
My objection is to get to where we're going. We're wasting time by sitting here. Let's go.
Val will kind of just gesture to Saya, like, yeah, what she said, and just kind of keep his hands free for if he needs to summon his weapon, and he'll just kind of start walking along, I guess, after Azazel, just making sure that everybody else is following.
This time while they travel, Aurora is going to also gravitate a bit more towards Azazel because of because of his personality, essentially. He's making her
Personality,
he's making her smile, and right now that's something she is valuing.
Likely story.
That's the one she's sticking with.
Yeah, I mean, if you're there, you'll just hear him talking to her, just talking about random times of just things in his life, or just times they've spent talking about food. He's got an itch on his back, just random things. He's like you're there, but he's not changing anything about himself.
Oh yeah, she would be honestly just drinking up anything he's saying and reciprocating in kind, conversation wise and everything, sharing a little bit about her life. But yeah, no, she seems to essentially brighten up and just seem really happy just in the conversation.
You're a person whose glass is always full, aren't you? As he just immediately just breaks his conversation, looks at you, and says that.
Well, yes, there's beauty in everything, there's life in everything, and even in such a dreary place, then it's even more important than ever to have something with light and life and a reminder that there is beauty, isn't there?
Whoever hurt you had no idea what they did. Then he just turns and just keeps on walking.
It's like, what do you mean?
He keeps on going, pretends like he didn't say it. He's just like, alright, so, how long have you guys been being at the party, I think, adventures, whatever this is, I forget what people call it nowadays.
Not long. Saya's just gonna call back.
2 days?
A week, perhaps?
So nobody knows!
Well, we
I
met.
think. Well, that's when last night we slept at.
Last night you guys slept together? That's how much you guys know each other?
No, this is me out of character trying to figure out how to get together. So, because last night we were at Ismark's, the night before we were in the town. So I think it's literally been 2 days.
Yeah, we had 2 days with Ismark, then we had,
What about the killer house?
yeah, I was gonna say, then we had the murder house, then we basically, before that, we're in, Daggerfall, so,
4
theoretically-
days?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
3
it's been maybe a week max, I think, at this point.
I think it's 3 days, isn't it then?
Yeah, plus the couple of days that we were in Daggerford and everything.
No,
And the
I
surrounding-
I have an idea.
We're only there
Why
for
not?
1 day.
I have an idea. Why not ask the magic voice in the sky? Narrator!
What?
I mean, maybe
DM.
maybe when you guys asked for this campaign to be hard and you would be taking notes, that maybe you should be taking account of how long you've known each other.
Hey, I never asked for it to be hard. That was them.
Hey, I mean,
I have been writing notes. Do you know what? Carry on with this. I will come back with an answer in 10 minutes, okay?
I was gonna say, in character wise, it fits because shit's been hitting the fan so regularly that days blur together.
Yeah, at this point, like, Val doesn't fucking care. He just wants to go home. He just wants to kill the vampire and go home.
I just know we celebrated Greengrass yesterday.
Saya just wants to find Caleb. That's all.
So he just sits there and goes, all right, so you guys have no idea. Got it. You know what? I didn't ask
10
this.
minutes and I'll figure it out.
Tell me how you guys fight, because that's how you open a conversation. Like, what's your fighting style versus, what's your favorite food? What's your favorite color? What's your fighting style?
My favorite food is
Magic.
lemon cake.
Oh, everyone answer at once. Everyone loves that one. All right.
Saya's gonna go, magic.
Boring. Moving on.
A sword and shield. I'm a sort of paladin.
Still boring. Next one.
My favorite cake is lemon cake. It's my favorite thing
See,
to eat and bake it.
interesting. Interesting. Lemon cake. Interesting. But how's your fighting style?
You asked about a fighting style, not what we like or dislike.
He said
we're both.
food. I guess the color next time is green. Is my
Cool.
favorite color.
Awesome. I can tell.
I like greens and yellows are generally happy springtime colors. My fighting style is a little bit of everything. I can be up front, I can be in the back, but I mainly heal. I'm a cleric.
So you don't know where you belong, okay? And you?
You asked me the fighting style. I didn't need to start a psych therapy session. Jesus.
I didn't either. You say that you can fight in the front, you can fight in the back, or you can heal. You don't know where you belong. You do have all three.
Usually I'm in the middle.
Boom. Done.
Val will kind of look slightly uncomfortable. He kind of like scratches like nervously behind his head. Just, well, for fighting, I also prefer to be in the middle. But I like coffee and black cherries.
Best answer I've ever heard so far.
I make a really good cake that has coffee and cherries in it.
Val just looks over at you and his eyes are fucking sparkling. And he just like, God, please, I would love that. Please, please tell me how to make it.
Red and green are my favorite colors, and strawberries and cream is my favorite dish.
Don't know why, but that fits.
I like cooking.
You
And I
like cooking.
purple.
See, guys? This is how you start a conversation.
Okay, now you go.
Amigo? Oh, well, obviously it's blue. I mean, as you can see, and blue's kind of like the color that I wear. Food-wise, whatever I can get my hands on, I live to eat, I don't eat to live.
Just without even thinking, which happens quite often, she just looks you up and down and goes, then where does all the food go?
What do you mean? He like looks at me, he's like, what? I know I gained like a pound or two. What happened? What?
You're so skinny. Where does it go?
Oh! It's just a lot. I do a lot of walking.
Oh.
Genetics, I think. I don't know.
Saya's just gonna look over at Aurora and just kind of attempt to be playful, but it doesn't come out that way as she goes, don't forget the important thing you like. You like to take baths and pamper yourself.
What?
Uh,
Do I
Yeah.
hear this?
Yes,
Baby
she
is a
legit.
very important part of Suni's worship.
She does say that. I don't
We are gonna
know.
have so much fun.
Azazel, I don't know if you're like if he's a fast learner, but Saya doesn't use her emotions at all.
He's picking up on that, and there's just again that smile has yet to leave, and he's always smiling at all of you guys. He's learning a lot really fast, and like everything's good. Like nothing that's been said so far. Like he hasn't stopped smiling. He may come off as a bit of a dick, but like there's always still a smile on his face.
That is why Aurora is staying near him, because he at least has a smile.
But you know, like bats are cool. When you can have them, usually they're kind of cold. I don't know. We usually move it a bunch, but you know, I'll tell you the truth. There's some nice, hotels, that have some good bed. Well, let's keep walking. Just leaves.
She's
The room is exactly where I want it to be, so let's keep it going.
yeah, she's her horse gonna fall. It's a part of my religion and beliefs.
And it's like my favorite religion.
Is it?
Like, if I was to pick one, I'd probably choose that.
Would you like me to teach you a little about my goddess?
With as much respect, no.
All right.
No god wants me, and I am okay with that. And I don't try. I appreciate it. I know you get that kind of like save part of you, like, well, my god's different, and it might be, but the answer still stays the same. So let's just keep the good parts of your religion, and we keep out everything else. Is that like, I mean that with the most respect as possible.
I have no intention of pressing the issue.
Beautiful, just like you. And your sister. And everyone here, you're gorgeous too. Points over at the one at Alex's character.
And she's just gonna stand there and just kind of stare at him.
Yeah, you stare at me. You can't
Unfazed.
show emotion. I'll get emotion out of you. Don't you worry. I'll get
Yeah.
it. Nah.
Bring it. That's the challenge now.
Azazel, what color are your eyes?
Color my eyes are blue. They're like kind of like an ocean blue.
Okay. Yeah, in response to the comment, just... And if I'm honest, you are quite beautiful as well. And your eyes are very, very unique and very telling. Like the ocean during a storm. It's gorgeous.
Thank you. Be careful. Eyes can lie.
They can also reveal truths.
That's if these eyes are mine. You just keep on walking.
Just completely unfazed, just following along.
There's a little bit of awkward
it?
shuffling off to the side as you realise that this entire time Zen's has been like, you're all beautiful, and there's a 13-year-old boy holding 2 stuffed teddy bears.
I thought it was 10.
Nah. But there's
He
definitely
said
one
he
there.
was. Yeah, just poor TS. Just like, I don't know what to do about this.
Is it visible on your face?
TS is not here to talk about what's visible on his face.
No, I meant Gladys. Or Vladis. Fuck, I can't remember.
You can just call me Val. Don't worry about it.
Val!
He kind of, like, when you say that as, like, a sweeping gesture of, like, you're all great, you're all beautiful, he kind of winces a little bit and looks to TS, just like, child, there's a child present.
I'm just gonna carry on down the path and see if we can get where we're going.
Oh, definitely. After probably another hour of traveling, you make it to a fork in the road and crossroads. There are a set of old wooden gallows that are creaking in the wind from somewhere off in the mountains of the west. A frayed length of rope dances from its beam, and the well-worn road splits here, and a signpost opposite the gallows points off in 3 directions. Barovia village to the east, where you've just come from, Sear Pool to the northwest, and Ravenloft Valaki to the southwest. The
Can I
northwest...
check the post to make sure it doesn't look like it's been turned?
Sure, make an investigation check.
18.
It doesn't appear to have been twisted.
Perfect. Continue.
Across from the gallows, a low wall, crumbling in places, partially encloses a small plot of graves shrouded in fog. There is a body hanging from the gallows.
Oh, lovely. All right.
Is he clothed?
He is clothed, but
Does it look like... Okay.
his face is covered by the old-style executioner's hood, black shroud that's just been pulled over the face and secured by the noose itself.
Nah, you won't have it. I was considered to be like, all right, we ready?
Model character, 4 days. This is the 4th day we have been together.
Ayo. So, Krista was right.
I'm glad to see that the time that this group moves has not changed.
Mm-hmm.
What do you expect? We're all the same people.
12 episodes and 4 days.
10. This is the 10th.
Oh, 10 episodes. There you go.
Hold on, knock at the door.
So we ready, or do you guys want to go poke a body?
I'm sorry, because I was going through notes, so basically we carried on walking, and now we've come upon, like, a hangman's noose with a body on it.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. And this is still in the forest, right?
You are still in the forest, but you've reached like a little bit of a clearing as you've come to a set of crossroads.
That was my next question, is this a crossroads?
Yes.
I vote we leave it. The reason that this person was hung at a crossroads is purposeful. Because if you get hanged at a crossroads, it means you will never find your way home again. So clearly, this person did something bad to have been hung out here at a crossroads. I say we leave it. Let's carry on.
Val kind of just like shrugs and is like, well, I mean, we do have to hurry if we want to get in a building by nightfall. So I second that.
All right, that has been smoking.
What?
You guys said what we were going to do, so I said it has been spoken. So, are you ready?
Oh, okay. I don't know if you were too close to the mic or what, but your voice was very muffled.
Oh, my apologies. Probably the
You're good.
internet. And my shitty microphone that I have right now.
It's all good. No worries.
I would like Azazel and Saya to make perception checks for me.
I saw 20 there, and it wasn't there.
So while we're waiting for Saya's perception roll, Azazel.
I would like to use...
I didn't see anything either.
I would like to use an ability.
Go for it.
Give me a moment. So it specifies. Did I fail this roll or no?
Ugh.
I need to know that, apparently.
No.
No? Okay, never mind. I won't use it then. Continue.
Okay. So, Azazel, you've been in Barovia long enough to know the distinction between someone with a soul and someone without.
Mm-hmm.
Many Barovians are born without souls, and it affects all manner of things within their lives. One of them
Mm-hmm.
is their fashion sense. Unironically, people without souls will wear less flamboyant clothing.
Makes sense.
This man is wearing plain but very well tailored clothing. Just from doing the up down of looking at the clothing that he is still wearing, this man had a soul.
So it's weird that he was hanged.
Mm.
Is that what we're getting at?
That's up to you. But it's just the observation of this is one of the few people that were in possession of a soul.
Oh, that's a weird one. Yeah, I'll be right back, guys. And I'm gonna go over. How high is he in the tree or in the gallows?
Because of the way that it's been built and it's a gallows platform, you can walk right up to the body.
I would like to check the body for any items on the person.
Sure. Saya, with your 8, you can't put your finger on it, but you are drawn to this body.
She's gonna go look around it.
Mhm.
Kind of like she's eyeing it.
I thought we were carrying. Okay.
Yeah, Val is also just like, he sees both of them walk off and he just pinches the bridge of his nose and starts tapping his foot like on the ground like, oh my god, we're wasting time.
So, Azazel, what are you doing to the body?
Pat it down, see if there's anything in the pockets, name tags, check the collar, see if someone put the name on there, tag, anything.
So, you pat the body down, and this body has been stripped. There's no coin purse, no belt, nothing that would be like scabbard, weapon cache, no bag, no nothing. They have been stripped of everything other than the bare essentials.
Okay.
And I would say that with your passive, there's something wrong with the body. Like, obviously it's been hanged, but this, without doing an improper investigation, you don't know what, but there is something wrong about this body.
I'll do an investigation check if that's what's required.
Can I also do?
If you see him poking about, you can do, but I'm asking for a medicine check.
Oh, sure. Medicine.
Well, can I roll investigation though?
Sure.
Oh, I can't do nothing to help that one.
Fuck.
Again, poking around, the rest of the group can see, like, Azazel, like, lifting up arms, looking at, like,
I don't know what
the
I'm
body.
doing.
There's neither of them. Both of them are just looking at this hanging corpse, and it's like,
Can I take the hood off?
What are you looking for?
I don't know. Something told me that I should do this, and I did. And I just ripped the hood off right then and there.
So it's a little hard to rip the hood off because it's being held in place by the noose itself.
I'll use my little dagger. I'll just clip the side of it if that's easier.
Well, it's more the thing of it's not one flush, like, flourish, but
That's
you
fine.
can tug it off.
Perfect.
And what you all see in front of you is a blonde, elven man. Defined cheekbones, defined jaw. His eyes are rolled into the back of his head as death's throes have taken him. He's, again, without doing a medical investigation, it's hard to tell how long he's been dead, but his body is still fresh enough where active signs of decomposition haven't started yet. He has, however, hit rigor mortis. When you were moving his limbs, Azazel, they were stiff as a board.
So, question with that. So, like, where are the gallows? And apologies if I didn't catch something. Is there like a town or a building nearby, like people who have done this?
The nearest settlement that you know of, anyway, would be a Vistani encampment off to the side. But you know these people; they wouldn't have done this.
Well, this whole situation's kind of messed up. We can poke around more, or we can leave.
Saya,
Hold on.
you know this
Yup.
face.
Oh yeah.
You know this man.
Son of a bitch!
Hanging from the gallows, a sack of meat in the wind, is Caleb.
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
In that
You know him?
instant. Yeah, she goes. He was one of my allies. A very close friend of mine.
do we all hear this?
Damn.
I mean, if Saya is saying it loud enough for everyone to hear, because the rest of you didn't go
Yeah.
up to the gallows.
Yeah, I guess
Saya's
we'd be
just
inching
gonna.
closer.
In that moment, Saya's just gonna take out the silver sword that she had and just kind of Mulan style, just kind of like get down on her knee and start saying an elvish prayer.
Aurora would have been saying a prayer to Suni for the guy while they're doing all this.
Now that the hood is off, you can get a better image of the body as a whole. There's obviously points in the ear where he would have had piercings, but those piercings are gone now. Actually, the earlobe has been ripped where the piercings have been, like, pulled out of the ear. Long blonde hair, startling blue eyes, pale skin, almost as pale as Saya's. Simple
Saya?
clothing, simple white shirt, and an open vest just hanging in the wind. The only thing supporting his weight right now is the noose around his neck.
Saya?
Yeah.
Do you want us to cut him down and bury him?
I would discourage that.
Why?
He had a soul and he was hanged, and there's going to be a good reason for it, and we don't want to piss people off who
Wait,
did
what
it.
do you mean he has a soul?
He has
Doesn't
a soul.
everybody?
No.
Remember the letter that Bismarck gave us? It's possible
Didn't-
his soul is walking around. But his
Didn't say
body's
anything
here.
about souls. It said stuff about spirits, but didn't say anything about souls.
Spirit and soul are one and the same, I would think.
Mm,
That's a little religion.
spirit and ghost are the same. Soul, not so much.
His letter did say that anything other than being human here is seen as odd.
But odd enough to get you hanged.
If I may, and Ireena, like, kind of puts her hand up.
Always.
It's a common belief in Barovia that there is a limited amount of souls, and when someone with a soul dies, they are reincarnated. It's very easy to tell if someone is born without a soul. There's characteristics, dress sense, personality. For example, you all have souls. And when we... for example, Mary. She does not have a soul.
I am
And I mean it in the
so...
very literal sense. I'm not talking about a personality. I mean it that she was born without a living soul.
How? Sorry, I'm trying to wrap my head around this.
Yes, many people have come up with theories, but the prevailing one is that when Strahd created this kingdom and trapped the people inside it, he can't create life. So the few people that have souls are the souls of people that were here when Barovia was first captured. Obviously, the population has grown since then, but without new souls, people were born without them. It's just a facsimile of life.
After effect, if you try to be God and you aren't God, shit like this happens.
Saya's gonna turn to Ireena and I'd like to bury him, but if it's not a good thing to do, I ask your advice wholeheartedly.
It's not necessarily a bad idea. There's nothing wrong with burying him, but I would do a full check of the body first before you do.
Saya will nod and start kinda. She's gonna go up to him and just kinda start checking. She goes, I'm sorry this happened, my old friend.
I will check with Saya.
I'll step away if they're both going to do that. I'll just keep, I'm going to go into the forest and just do kind of a, I'm just going to chill out there like I did before. Hey guys, I got to take another piss. I'll be back.
You might want to get that checked out. You possibly have a UTI.
Probably do.
Cranberry juice, my man. Cranberry juice.
If you can find that here, tell me.
Alright then. Who is leading the medicine check?
I can do it.
Yeah, I have a. Well, my wisdom is 11. So. Yeah.
I'm gonna just go with I'm a cleric.
Yeah. Perform the medicine check.
Did I move advantage or?
Yeah, you can help each other and get the help action there.
Okay. So that's a dirty 20.
Okay. You are looking over his body, trying to see as much as you can without taking him down from the noose initially. And there's a couple of things that you notice, Austra.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have any fingernails. Like, the entire nail bed has been ripped from each and every finger.
Oh my god.
And then as you're doing more checks of the body, you notice that even with the rigor mortis setting in, limbs are bending in directions that they shouldn't. And that's when you realize that his knees and his elbows have been dislocated.
Knees and elbows.
Yes.
God.
There's the potential for even a hip or two.
Christ.
His hands battered and bruised, the skin livid and purple.
Livid and purple.
Livid and purple.
Oh, livid. Oh, okay, so that's punching then, or trying to fend off somebody then.
As you're pressing into his chest, you feel multiple broken and floating ribs.
Oh, Christ.
And as you begin to loosen the noose...
Here's something that actually Saya would hear. And here's some... And it's also words that you probably have never heard Austra say. All the elvish words that Austra is saying right now are all curse words.
I love that for her.
Like, she's feeling things, and you're just hearing her say, like, fucking hell. Shit. Oh my god, like, kind of, like, worsened as she's checking this guy over. And it's all just coming out in Elvish.
As you loosen the noose, Astra, to, like, you're satisfied with the extent of your examination. As you loosen the noose to begin to bring him to the floor, his neck is definitely broken. But with your dirty 20, he doesn't have any bruising on his neck, which would have been caused by dropping from the noose. So he was hung post-death.
Okay.
And Saya's just gonna mumble. This explains so much. Yeah.
Well, is it a thing where it's like I'm able to, like, rope some body down gently onto the ground? Or is it like I'm gonna literally have to, like, cut this rope to get his body to drop?
Because of where you are, like, you can essentially reach the noose knot. So you could untie the noose if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm gonna lift him up slightly so he's kind of, like, resting on my shoulders, so that, because I don't want his body to just drop to the ground. It's not the right vibe that we're going for here. So it's just a way of, like, I just want to, like, get him out of this.
Saya will be
hang
like,
hang on. Cheryl wants to let this noose loose so that he can fall on her shoulder, or have to call people over so that when he drops, he can be caught.
well,
Because it's just added trauma that your character doesn't need, just to see him to just drop.
well, that's what I was gonna say. Saya can be underneath to, like, kind of catch him and give him a hug. And
So,
everything went silent.
yeah. So am I able to put him over my shoulder, or am I getting people?
Yeah, no. Saya wants to catch him. Saya wants to catch him.
Yeah, well, in that case, then I tell you to kind of, like, stand over the open box and, like, hold him, and she will, like, get the noose off of his neck then. So that means then you are holding up, to not beat around the bush, you are holding up a lot of dead weight.
And you're going to need to roll an athletics check for it.
If there is a way that I can aid with that, and just, like, literally slip it off and go to grab him quick.
No, because you are right now untying this knot. Your hands are preoccupied.
Okay. Good luck to you, Saya.
I'm gonna fail.
You're gonna do this.
Yep. Nope, I failed.
You're gonna fail.
The noose loosens, and you're trying to do it slowly, Astra, so that you can like slowly, like, relieve pressure and slip. The entire rope just comes out from your hand. The noose loosens a lot quicker than you were intending. Saya, you do technically catch Caleb and you catch his body, but the force of it just knocks you to the floor and knocks you winded. And you are technically being pinned by Caleb's corpse.
I immediately run, because I'm assuming when we got him off, they both just fell through the hole. So I'm immediately just gonna run under and just kind of scoop Caleb's body off of you. But you okay?
In time, I will be.
I meant physically, like, right now. Are you okay? That's a lot of weight to just drop on you.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
And Kate, she's gonna kind of position herself and pull the body back and just kind of hug him, and you would see that she's like kind of taking her hand and just kind of like moving his hair slightly and just going, "We've known each other for a long time. He's always been with me. Up until now, I figured he was around. I started getting concerned when he wasn't answering my call, but
right. This is no offense to you. I'm gonna pick him up and carry him over my shoulder so that we can find a place where you want to bury him.
she'll nod.
Okay. And I do that thing that you do with unconscious people when you do the thing, where you lay him on their back, you push their knees up, and then like you grab and pull their arms so that it's one fluid motion up and over the shoulder.
And there's a sickening crunch as
Yeah.
the vertebrae in his spine grind together as his head lolls to one side.
There is no way that I can like reset these bones at all, is there?
You technically haven't examined his neck yet, so that's up to you.
Yeah, okay. I go to put him in that position, I'm hearing all like the bones crack and everything. I'm gonna reset his bones first.
Poor guy, he didn't deserve this.
I could tell you my findings, but I really don't think it's gonna help.
Can if you want. The thing on my mind now is I need a magic shop. I need a certain spell, and I don't know it.
What spell?
Sending.
I don't have that yet. I will do in time, but I definitely do not have it now. Do I have to roll to reset his bones, or can I just reset them?
No, this is going to be a medicine check all on its own.
Okay. Oh no!
Not doing well tonight.
So
I'm trying to. Well, you're looking at me as I'm trying to do, and it's just not working.
Your attention, Alstra, as you're going to reset this neck, is taken by the surprise that in the side of his neck there are 2 livid puncture marks.
I fucking called it. Oh my god.
Okay. I think I may have found his cause of death. If all his injuries beforehand didn't.
What's his cause of death, Alstra?
Exsanguination?
Val's head would immediately pop up.
Which means English.
Exsanguination, basically, like there is no blood in his body, like so he's been bitten. Exsanguination
He's been
is no
rained
blood.
dry.
Saya's gonna turn and look at Valdis.
Okay, Valdis did not do this. Valdis has been with us the whole time.
He'll like
She's gonna turn and she's gonna walk over to Valdis. And she's just gonna go, when she gets over to him, she's gonna go, I hope, she goes, I hope you won't mind helping me kill some of these bastards.
he'll kind of look at you with a little bit of like like his bluster is a little bit lost. But he still tries to smile at you and just, darling, I'd hope you'd never ask. I do this for a living. But he kind of like,
But when I point out that when she says that, she's not sad, she's not angry. There's no revenge right there. She's just saying, we need to kill these guys. In fact, all you guys just figured out is that Saya's long-term friend, her spy contract, which I don't have any contact anymore. You would think that maybe she would be like wicked sad and depressed over this. I will say that the whole time that they were helping with when Austra was helping with Caleb and all that. And Austra probably already knows, but every time, the whole icy cold touch thing, but yeah. Yeah, Saya's just gonna nod and turn back and go. And just look at everyone. I know we haven't known each other for long. But we are allies at this point. So I humbly ask that you join me in saying goodbye and giving him a proper funeral.
I give up on resetting the bones and I just put him over my shoulder. Make a burial plot.
I can't remember. Do any of us have a shovel?
No.
I have a mace.
I've got a crowbar and a hammer.
Well, in that case, Saya's just gonna go over to a clear part and just start kind of digging. She's gonna start digging in the ground. Her hands.
Okay.
Yeah, can I come out from taking a whiz?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be like, look, can we do like an old-fashioned burial, like fire?
I can do that.
I know.
And she's just gonna stand up and kind of dust off her hands. I suppose we can.
Great. Do you need wood, or can you actually do this?
Well, I have burning hands, flaming spear, and scorching ray. How would you like this?
You need wood. Got it.
So just say also has scorching ray and burning hands.
This sounds horrible, guy. You're literally going to cook him before you burn him.
I also have a tinderbox.
That's also.
Long story short, yes, we need some kindling.
I look over to Aurora. You got something big with a blade. Can you just start hacking like a couple branches down? We'll kick some leaves and light it on fire and be on our way.
I can do that, yes. I can. She's gonna go start doing as requested.
We have been here for way too fucking long. Because I'm just looking around.
I pull out my silvered greatsword. So I guess we're getting wood first.
For the sake of time, I'm not going to make you roll for chopping down a tree.
Out of
Equally as
character.
small. Oh, go on.
I was gonna say, out of character though, I have a horrible comment of what Sarah Azazel said about cooking them before burning them. Yeah, I have purify food and drink.
Oh, fucking man.
Oh my god!
Welcome back, huh?
could purify him after he's cooked, but before he's. Okay, sorry.
Welcome to
sorry.
Strahd, everyone.
Where cannibalism is not a last resort.
It's both blood
Hey.
and meat. You both get your drink and your protein.
Hey, the idea would be that he is purified, and then he
Well,
can
this is almost, what's the word? What's the religious word for it? Sacrilegious?
Oh,
You
but
got
no.
your meat, you got your wine.
Oh, but no, here's
Technically,
the.
he doesn't have any blood, so you wouldn't get any drink out of it. It would just be meat.
I
You're
mean,
not eating Caleb. Put it out of your mind now.
No, Aurora. The thing is that she wouldn't have even meant it like that. It's the thing of like you literally mentioned that he is cooked like food. I can quote unquote purify that, so at least he is like he goes to his funeral like pure.
I knew I shouldn't have picked a hot guy for Caleb. God damn it, I'm kicking myself.
Anyways, yes, cut down a tree.
You get kindling. Are you literally just lighting a bonfire in the middle of the crossroads? Or are you doing it off to the side? Are you doing it in the graveyard? Like, where are you going?
Please, in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Anywhere where nothing else is gonna catch on fire.
Mhm.
Saya's gonna go to Astra and just go. I'd like to help you set the flames. I am also able to cast fire magic.
Okay. I could also just use the fire that I use gear. Means we don't have to use a spell slot.
Either way. I also
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, we have tinder boxes. We're just gonna go around.
We do have a tinder box.
We do. We have tinder boxes, and we're just gonna using the tinder boxes, so we don't have to use. I will use some of the fire fluid from my fire breathing equipment just to help the flames just go a bit quicker.
Mm-hmm. And do you stay until he's ash, or?
I think we stay until we see the flames off his body.
Once it goes out, Saya's gonna make her little sign.
Mm-hmm.
As one last time. Right there, out in the open. No word, no sense. And she'll stand there kind of out of in front of everyone and just kind of stare and she'll turn around. Take a deep sigh and just kind of hold her head and go, let's keep going.
During the pyre burning, Aurora would have just been slowly strumming on her lute, just kind of atmospheric, kind of somber music, just what she is feeling right now, essentially.
And yet Saya still doesn't cry.
But yeah, at the mention of let's get going and everything, she'll just pack up her lute and everything or her lyre to keep going.
Well, the question is, which path do you take?
The left one.
Which one is the typical path, the path that we were following?
So both of them are. It branches off into two different paths. To the northwest, it says the Seer Pool. And then Ravenloft / Valaki is to the southwest.
Do I know anything about either of them?
Well, we need to go to Valaki, because that's where we're going, so...
I would say, Azazel, you know that both ways will get them to Valaki.
This is the one that's quicker.
Technically, the one going through Seer's Pool will be quicker because it's a more direct route.
And is it like dangers about the same?
Not necessarily the danger, but potentially a little bit of intrigue, considering Sia's pool will take them to the Vistani encampment.
So both ways are going to get us where we need to go. Technically, the one that's going to see his pool is faster.
Let's go through there then.
Cool. All right.
How do you spell that place, DM?
Sia, Tser.
Sears Pool
Yeah, Sia pool.
is all one word.
No, Tser and then pool. Pool.
Okay.
Well then, off the way we go to Sears Pool.
The road gradually disappears and is replaced by a twisted, muddy path through the trees. Deep roots in the earth are evidence of the comings and goings of wagons. Oh, deep ruts in the earth, sorry, not roots. The canopy of mist and branches suddenly gives way to black clouds boiling far above. There is a clearing here, next to a river that widens to form a small lake. 5 colourful round tents, each about 10 feet in diameter, are pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several brightly clad figures around the bonfire. A footpath continues beyond the encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest's edge.
So are they like going into a town?
No, this is like a
No.
little. There's no other way of putting it than like it's an encampment. There's wagons, tents, set up on the side of a lake. You can continue the path that you're going on, but as you approach, there are 12 men, like different men and women, all in like very brightly coloured clothing, like oranges, blues, greens, and they give you a smile and wave you over.
Should
on.
we go over or should we keep on
I
walking?
wave and just start walking over.
Okay,
Saya,
so we'll go
Say-
over.
Saya has a question to ask Aurora and Astra.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna go. I wanted to ask your help in something.
Okay.
Of course.
She kind of looks down in her pockets. I don't have a lot of money, but after what happened, I really need to buy a spell. So I'm hoping you two can, when we get to a place with lots of people, you can do
Raise
what
some
you
money?
do best. If you don't mind.
We can try. You said it was like mournful accordion music, right?
It less mournful in the sense of like it's sad, and more mournful in the sense of like, oh, that is old and battered, and there's a lot of wheezing going on.
Wait, what? I'm getting this intro. I pull out my tin whistle. I look to my sister, and I go over to the musician, and I start playing with them.
Yep. Aurora will very quickly follow because it is music.
as you get closer, you get a little bit more of the layout of the land. So there's a bonfire that has been set in the middle. There are 12 different men and women that are sat on logs or upturned cases, like whatever they could make a seat out of. The bonfire is surrounded by 4 wagons that have people like sat in the seat just as if they were driving it, but they're just using the benches as a resting point.
Do I know anybody in this village? Or encampment?
You don't recognize anyone immediately, but you know for a fact that Eva is probably in her tent.
You said Eager?
Eva.
Eva. Sorry. Eva. That's fair. I'm just gonna walk over and just kind of like start like saying hi to everybody, you know, I mean, tapping people on their shoulders, like, you know, just being friendly.
Yeah, and they are very happy to reciprocate it. The twins joining in with the music, immediately there's cheers and claps. Someone offers you a flask of wine.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Just in between playing takes a sip. Goes back to playing, takes a sip.
Aurora very gladly will as well.
There's a little bit of a whiplash contrast of having a funeral bonfire and now joining in like a little bit of raucous revelry. But it seems to be the life around here. After a little bit of a celebration, one of the men of the group beckons you over, like you all to just like come by the fire.
Oh, yeah, I'll go and take a seat.
Val would definitely follow, but he's a little bit more cautious than everybody else.
It's fair enough.
Aurora is her trusting self and is just like, oh, okay, well, Azazel has no problem with it, so.
The man with the accordion begins playing like a bass tune. Is just meant to be background music as the man that gestured you over starts to make hand motions in front of the fire and speak in a tone that you kind of expect an entertainer to use with children in a non-condescending way, as he begins to weave a tale for you all. A mighty wizard came to this land over a year ago. Remember him like it was yesterday. He stood exactly where you're standing, pointing to Valdis. A very charismatic man. He thought he could rally the people of Barovia against the Devil Strahd. He stirred them with thoughts of revolt and bore them to the castle en masse. When the vampire appeared, the wizard's peasant army fled in terror. A few stood their ground and were never seen again. The wizard and the vampire cast spells at each other. Their battle flew from the courtyards of Ravenloft to the precipice overlooking the falls. I saw the battle with my own eyes. Thunder shook the mountainside, and great rocks tumbled down upon the wizard. Yet by his magic he survived. Lightning from the heavens struck the wizard, and again he stood his ground. But when the Devil Strahd fell upon him, the wizard's magic couldn't save him. I saw him thrown 1,000 feet to his death. I climbed down to the river to search for the wizard's body, to see if, he had anything of value. But the river Iblis had already spirited him away. There's a pause and there's a moment of applause of like a brava brava as the other encampers just there like, oh, good story, good story.
What river was that?
Ivlis. IVLIS.
L-I...
Ivlis. Ivlis.
For sugar? Like S for sugar.
Like that.
Thank you. You keep cutting out the last letter, and I'm like, is it a S or a F?
There. You get the impression that these these people tell each other stories for entertainment, but you do also get the impression that there is maybe a kernel of truth to that story.
Always good stories in the company of you guys. Always so happy.
Looking over the group and like kind of taking you all in for the first time, one of the ladies of the group pipes up and goes, "Are you here to see Eva?"
No, we're trying to get through here pretty quick, but apparently everyone here wanted to say hello, and we did, and I can say hi to you if she wants, but
Who's
we're just passing
Eva?
through. Why do you want to know?
Curious.
You ever heard curiosity killed the cat?
Do you know the full phrase to that is, but satisfaction brought it back?
Saya's just gonna give Azazel this look like, who are you to, like, be in charge after you, like, just got here hours ago? Like, what is this?
I don't know why, but you guys have allowed me to choose every direction we've got, so I've just ran with it.
You're from here!
I know. So I was like, okay, cool, let's keep it going. I am. I've been here longer than you guys, so I do know a thing or two, but thanks for that. Cool, sure. Yeah, where is Eva?
Well, she should be in her tent. You should all
Oh, I
go
don't
and
want to
see
disturb
Eva.
her.
She's expecting you.
Yeah, I figured. Alright guys, come let's go meet Eva. Woo! I'll just go ahead and walk over. I'm assuming her tent's where it always is.
Mm-hmm.
Out of curiosity, what time of day is it?
Midday. Not
Okay.
even, actually. Coming up to midday.
Okay, cool. So we have a little bit of time.
And we took a shortcut.
Yep.
Wait. Oh, there's a way around this. DM, how long does it take to learn a spell? How long? I'm curious.
A good old long while. Especially if it's not in your class.
Alright, never mind. Let's go visit the person.
It's Eva, damn it. I'll go ahead and walk over to the tent and like get kinda close, but like, knock knock, Eva, you in?
She gestures for you to come in.
After
And-
you? Well, I'll just into the group.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's like she gestures for you to come in, but specifically to like get the others in here too.
Yeah, I just remember like after you, beauty before age.
I think Val would kind of be the last person to come in. He's definitely a little bit nervous.
She's not gonna touch you, don't worry about it.
I mean, that's not what I'm worried about, but thank you for the reassurance. And he'll kind of just like awkwardly step in, but stay close to like the tent flap.
I'm gonna push through past them. The hole I'm through, I'm just gonna push through.
Mm-hmm. Magic flames cast a reddish glow over the interior of the tent, revealing a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal ball on the table as a hunched figure peers into its depths. As the crone speaks, her voice crackles like dry weeds. At last! You have arrived. Cackling laughter bursts like mad lightning from her lips. This woman is ancient. She must be at the very least in her 70s. Massive wrinkles covering her entire face, long hooked nose stopping a little bit just below, no, just above her bottom lip. Covered in beads and bangles and baubles and headscarves, she's just as colourful as her compatriots outside. But she seems quite content to sit behind this table.
Hi!
I have been blessed this day.
Yes, you have. Guys, Eva, guys.
Madam Eva. And it is my turn to be of service to you. And she holds out her hands and gesturing to either take a seat or stand in front of the table.
I'll take a seat.
So will Aurora.
Saya will sit too.
I'll stay
I will
standing.
stand.
What about TS? What does TS do?
I'll say that he stands, but it's that midway of the group where he's not hovering by the tent flap, but he's also not right at the table. And it's now that you're noticing it, it's from the outside, the tent takes up maybe a 10 by 15 rectangle. In here it feels so much bigger. And she begins to take all of you in, a hand outstretched, kind of hovering in front of you all.
Bigger on the outside. Oh, it's bigger on the inside. Oh my god, I can't believe I messed that up.
So,
Really? I never guessed. That is one of the doctor's responses to that.
Shush. But as soon as she opens her eyes, looks at you all with a smile, goes, "It is time. It is your time." And she looks at Azazel.
Just point to myself, me.
"It is time." And with a far-off look, she reaches over and begins to shuffle a deck of cards with an elaborate patterning on the back. And she's doing it in lightning fast speed, cracking the deck together, splitting it, rippling it. It is the most elaborate system of shuffling you have ever seen. Valdis.
Yeah.
You're watching this with, a suitable amount of apprehension. But it's then that you notice on Madame Eva's hand, she has a scar.
I think I know where this is going.
And she's shuffling away. Her right hand is in front of you, so it's easier to see, but she keeps shuffling, and eventually places the deck on the table. Lifts her hand away from it, making sure that you all see that she is not touching the deck. You have all been brought here with a purpose. It may not be clear to you now, but it will become clearer. I can only guide if you wish me to. I can only help with your permission.
Always.
And because you're the one that said always, she holds out a hand to you, her right hand almost unfurling like a fan, fingers gnarled with arthritis, nails long and pointed. She holds her hand out to you, Azazel.
Yeah, I'll walk over and I'll take it.
With her left hand, she now is looking to the room. Just goes, a group of stragglers brought together for the sole purpose of killing a god. All given skills and adeptness needed. Now let us see if you are ready. And she flips over the first card.
I love this.
This card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. And she pushes the card towards you all. You see the image of a well-dressed man in like fancy clothing. He has feathers adorning the top of his hat that are splaying out in different directions. In his hand is the style of masquerade mask where it's like a half face attached to a stick. In the corner, you see the number 7. And in the other corner, you see what looks to be some kind of rune.
Do any of us know what it is?
Eva opens her eyes to look down at the card. You do notice that as she's pulling from the deck, she closes her eyes and then opens it to see which card she pulls. With a smile, she goes, the 7 of Glyphs, the charlatan. I see a lonely meal on a precipice. The treasure lies within. And with that, she takes her hand off the charlatan and reaches back to the deck, eyes closed, flips another card. This card tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. She opens her eyes again, pushing the card towards you, and you can see in the left-hand side of the frame of the card there is an elderly man with a full beard and mustache that flows past the bottom of the card. His ears are stretched with giant disc-like earrings, and he wears a peaked headdress. Behind his right shoulder are 2 gnarled bare trees. An evil tree grows atop a hill of graves where the ancient dead sleep. The ravens can help you find it. Look for the treasure there. As she pulls her finger away, and again in the top corner you can see the number 5, and it's that same runic symbol again. You have pulled the 5 of Glyphs, the druid. Reaches again for the next card. This is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. And flipping over the next card, it is a common shepherd man holding a long wooden staff surrounded by the sheep of his flock. Find the mother, she who gave birth to evil. Again, reaching for the next card. This card sheds light to one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. And she flips it over. And it has a more illustrated, I guess the best way of putting it is like a vista on this card. It looks like a graveyard that's so covered in swirling fog behind an iron railing. At the bottom of this card just has one word: mists. There's almost
Mists.
There's There's almost a smug, satisfied smile as Madame Eva takes her hand and places it just 2 fingers from her left hand, the index and the middle, and places it just in the center of the card. Her eyes begin to glaze over, almost as if she's seeing, but not what you're seeing. If Istani wanders this land alone, searching for her mentor, she does not stay in one place for long. Seek her out at St. Markovia's Abbey, near the mists. Fingers come away. Her eyesight returns as she again closes them and reaches for another card. Your enemy is a creature of darkness, whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. And she flips over the card. And the picture on it is a beautiful young woman, dressed as if for her wedding day, her hair curled and pinned behind a tiara, jewelry. Behind her is some kind of castle palisade with different flowing bits of material, decked out as if for a celebration. Across the bottom of the card it just reads, "The Innocent." There's almost a sad smile that comes over Eva's face as she lightly shakes her head. He dwells with the one whose blood sealed his doom, a brother of light snuffed out too soon. And it's then that she looks down at the cards that have been actually placed in front of you now in the shape of a cross. So many glyphs. This suit symbolizes faith or spirituality. It makes sense to see cards such as these for a group gathered by higher powers. And she looks up, and the twins, because you were sat in front of her, she is boring her eyes into you with that comment. She knows something. She knows something about you two, and the power behind her stare is unnerving. But as she looks away to look at the entire tent, you feel this magnetized pull, Valdis, to this woman. You have no idea who she is or where she's come from, but you feel this almost like a soul bond. You feel kinship with this woman.
He will definitely, walk a bit closer, under the guise of, looking at the cards better. But he's kind of just, looking her over, searching for something that'll give anything away. Because he always trusts his instincts. So he knows that this is important. He just doesn't know how.
Taking a look at the cards in front of you, Eva does leave them there so that you can look at them. Not that you know what the cards mean. All you have is her interpretation of them. But they've been laid out in a way where the 3 different glyph cards are at the left, the top, and the right of the cross. The card referencing a friend being made out of a lone wandering Vistani is the bottom point of the cross. And then where you will find Strahd, apparently, is in the center.
Which glyph is where? Sorry?
So the seven of glyphs, the charlatan, is on the left-hand side of the cross.
Okay.
And then the five of glyphs, the druid, is the top point of the cross.
Okay.
With the four of glyphs, the shepherd, being the right-hand point of the cross. So they fan over the top of this cross formation.
Okay. What was... Sorry, I'm asking I'm going to ask so many questions about what cards represented Strahd and the Vistani?
So the Mists card, the one that looked like a graveyard behind an iron railing, that one represented, apparently, one who will help you greatly in a battle against darkness, was Eva's words.
Okay, so that was the Vistani. Right. Okay.
And then the one in the centre, the Innocent, the one that looks like a young girl about to be married, represented somewhere that you will be able to always find him.
Okay. Okay. And that was the whole reading, right?
After the reading,
Okay.
you see whatever power she was tapping into. It does appear to have drained her. She does sit back, take a moment of breathing, like she reaches over and takes a drink from the cup off to the side. Valdis, make a perception check for me.
Ooh. All right. Bro, what the fuck? Why are we all rolling ass today?
That was a 15 and then it rolled over to the side.
You came close to the table trying to find something that perhaps linked you all, and the only thing that you're getting right now is this woman seems to have some kind of ability of either... Well, that's the thing. Your skepticism kicks in there. She's either, like, just really fucking good at reading the room, which is a potential, but she seems to have the ability to perhaps read fortunes. And if she's read your group's fortune, then that means that she has some abilities to connect with the future.
Okay. He would kind of shift from like one foot to the other and kind of just like cross his arms over his chest. And he's just racking his brain. Like, he's trying to think of like, if she really is like a fortune teller, she's able to see like basically like precognition. Like, how do you do this? Like, what god are you connected to? Like, what is happening? He's just kind of like, it would look like from the outside kind of like he's glaring, but he's just kind of like, his eyes are narrowed in focus and he's just like racking his brain like, how do I know you? Where are you from? What is this feeling? Can he check? You said she might have a scar on her hand. Are her hands visible?
Her hands are visible, she's not hiding them.
I would like to see if she has a crescent moon on her hand at all, just in case.
I'd say that with the 7 that you rolled, you're trying to get a good look at her hands, and in between reaching for the glass, going up to here, like she starts like after she's made sure that everyone's like looked at the card, she begins like picking them up one by one in like the reverse order and reshuffling the deck. She's keeping herself busy, and like the jewelry that she's wearing, the amount of rings that she's got, her sleeves hanging, like there isn't a clear way of just looking at the back of her hand.
Okay.
How much for a private reading?
She chuckles at that. And goes, "Oh. You do not need to know any more than you have already been told."
I'm gonna look to Aurora.
Aurora looks incredibly curious after after that stare that they got and everything of like she has this look of like, I want to ask for more,
Yeah,
but I'm not.
it's literally that same thing.
She's gonna just finally like reluctantly like suck it up, which is like, do you know more about us? Just motioning between herself and Aurora. Or
Astra.
yeah.
I know many things about you two. And she just gives you like this cracked smile of like, again, like all the wrinkles in her face like, bunching up and screwing up her face as she just smiles to you all.
But like what? Cause we don't know a lot about us.
She looks between you both, taking it in. What do you wish to know?
Were we actually left on the steps of the temple by our goddess, or was that just some like poppycock story that they made up?
There is no need for you to be left on the steps. You were born there.
We were born on the steps of the temple.
And again, gives another smile, but this time with a nod. It's just that, you know, you've just been given a pearl of wisdom, and she's very happy with herself.
Yeah, I ask who our mother was.
Or our father.
It is a dangerous thing for the apple to try and learn about the tree. It is maybe not what you wish to hear.
But maybe that's what we need to hear.
But you need them one to two different things. And you can now, all of you see this, like, souring is probably too strong of a term, but she's looking at you both, being like, take the hint.
Aurora just kind of sits back, like taking the hint, and just kind of starts, like, essentially more like inward, like reflecting, thinking on like what they were just told.
TS is gonna walk up to the table.
Hey!
Oh my god, you're so fucking quiet. Holy shit, I didn't even hear you.
My apologies. TS is gonna walk up to the table.
Mm.
Will I succeed at what I'm trying to do?
With a smile. Young boy, there are many ways for you to be able to succeed. It is just finding the right way.
Alright, so Saya has a question now.
She does acknowledge, Saya, that you're ramping up for a question, but as just before she gets to you, she looks to you, TS, and goes, just be careful, Theodore, that you do not lose yourself. In your pursuits.
Knock. Walk back towards the entrance.
Turns to you, Saya.
She's gonna ask, I don't know if you're able to do this, because I don't know how recent it was, but are you able to look into what might have been on a person's mind before they died? Or anything they have left to say?
There are multiple spells that can allow you to speak with the dead. It's just what you are willing to do.
We buried him, though. No, we didn't bury him. We put him on fire.
Oh, if there is nobody to talk to.
And she nods. She kind of already knew the answer, but she figured she'd try anyway. What about my future, then? Can you read it? Or tell me about it?
See her, like, sucking in her lower lip, giving it some real thought. Your future is bound to the fate of this realm, but also to the company that you keep. They could be your salvation or your undoing. And that is completely in your hands.
He's gonna turn and look at and Strahd, everyone else behind her. Unsure of what to think about that, but ends up nodding, to say the least.
Without much prompting, she turns to you, Azazel. There is a temple to the west. It holds secrets that will bring you what you wish.
What I wish?
What do you wish?
What do I wish?
Well, if you do not know.
You probably do.
She gives you a smile, but it's less crooked, it's less sarcastic. Like it's a genuine, caring smile.
He'll return it. I know. Thank you. I appreciate you, Eva. Thanks for all of this.
Mm. She looks like she's about to dismiss everyone. But before she does, she looks at Valdez with almost like a crooked head and a side eye.
Hmm.
Your mother is a woman who is more powerful here than she is anywhere else in this plane.
He kind of like perks up at that, kind of turns around and like cocks his head to the side a little bit. You know of my mother?
The smile. Again, back to that same toothless, cracked grin that just scrunches up her entire face. I know your mother. And I am aware of the tasks that she has set you, even if you do not know. Let us see what the price of vengeance will do upon your poor body.
He kind of like flinches a little bit. I apologize if this seems a bit out of pocket. But have we met before?
This is the first time we have ever met in person.
In person? You seem familiar to me. I feel a strange pull. And it's gnawing at my brain like I should know something. I should know. He kind of just like searches her face. I don't know if this is because of Madame or something else, but you seem familiar, and I didn't want to make you uncomfortable. or make assumptions.
She gives a little bit of a nonchalant shrug. Like recognizes like.
I see.
Now you all should be going. There is a carriage waiting for you. Wouldn't want to be
Carriage?
late.
As Val kind of like metaphorically scoops his brain back into his head, he kind of like does a quick bow and a very curt like, thank you very much for your time. And he'll kind of leave and just start towards where he sees the carriages, like as fast as possible without like being rude. Like his brain is like on fire. His gears are turning. He's just like, what the fuck?
And I think it's there. After a fateful card reading and a potential future laid out in front of you all, that we're going to end tonight's session there. Thank you so much for my players for joining me tonight. Thank you to Mr. Sorrow, Asher, Y, joining us for the evening. A rare treat.
Thanks for having me back again.
Anytime, you know that.
Oh, we miss you, Asher.
We really do.
Yep.
Well,
I'm just glad to know you're alive.
we'll leave the mushiness till we're done with the stream. But for now, thank you everyone so much for watching. We are live every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the VODs go up on YouTube every Tuesday.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Thank you everyone so much for watching. And good night.
Bye.
Good night.